Good afternoon and welcome to From Where We Are, stories of news and culture through the lens of Southern California and USC. I'm Sana Mahmood, coming to you live from Studio B in USC's Annenberg Media Center.
And I'm Kevin Gramling. It's Monday, April 10th, 2023. On today's show,
another tragic mass shooting in America, this time in Kentucky.
Arizona State University acquires a local fashion school. Does this change the landscape of higher education in LA?
USC names track field after alumni and Olympian Allyson Felix.
All that and more on From Where We Are, after these news headlines.
The Nashville Metropolitan Council voted to reinstate Justin Jones to the state legislature today. Jones, alongside Justin, Jay Pierce, and Gloria Johnson, led protests demanding gun control after the Covenant school shooting in Nashville. Jones and Pearson, who are both black, were voted out of their positions by Republicans last week. Their expulsions led to national outcry, with Vice President Harris voicing her outrage and support for the legislators in a speech.
A democracy says you don't silence the people. You do not stifle the people. You don't turn off their microphones when they are speaking about the importance of life.
An appeal was filed by the Justice Department in response to a Texas judge's ruling to block abortion pills nationwide. These pills have been approved by the FDA for over 20 years. The responses to the ruling have been widespread. California Governor Gavin Newsom announced that California would stockpile 2 million doses to ensure Californians have access to the drug moving forward. A number of pharmaceutical executives have criticized the unscientific nature of the ruling, warning that it puts other medications at risk and sets a dangerous precedent of ignoring health professionals.
At its heart, this is a question of deference to agency expertise. I mean, this unprecedented that a judge would overrule the FDA's expertise on this.
President Joe Biden says he plans on running in the 2024 elections. During the White House Easter egg roll today, Biden spoke with Today Show host Al Roker on his intentions to run for a second term. Biden, who is currently 80 years old, has yet to make a formal announcement or share a campaign timeline. Although most Democrats prefer Biden not seek re-election, no other major Democratic opponent for the 2024 elections has emerged.
I plan on running now, but we're not prepared to announce it yet.
A mass shooting in Louisville, Kentucky left 4 dead and 9 hospitalized this morning. According to a law enforcement source, the shooter had been notified he was going to be fired, and he wrote a note saying he was going to shoot the bank. This marks the 146th mass shooting in the United States in 2023. Salome Nebiu reports.
An employee in his 20s of Louisville's Old National Bank, who knew he was about to be fired, brought an AR-15 style rifle to his workplace Monday morning, opened fire on his colleagues, and killed 4. 9 others are wounded. He live-streamed his rampage on social media. Each of his victims is a human being, and each of their deaths a tragedy, as Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear said in the wake of the shooting.
We lost 4 children of God today, one of whom was one of my closest friends. Tommy Elliott helped me build my law career, helped me become governor, gave me advice on being a good dad. He's one of the people I talk to most in the world, and very rarely were we talking about my job.
The shooter was killed by the police after exchanging gunfire with them on the scene. Annenberg Media will not disclose his name out of respect for the victims. Louisville Metro Police Deputy Chief Colonel Paul Humphrey describes the timeline of the officer's response.
Within 3 minutes of being dispatched, officers arrived on scene and encountered the suspect almost immediately, still firing gunshots. Officers exchanged gunshots with that suspect, and ultimately that suspect did die at the scene.
Gun control advocate Ashley Castillo is a high school student. She works with the group Every Town for gun safety.
Behind each and every one of those numbers is a loss. It's a person. And that's something that we tend to forget and become desensitized to because of the media and because of things like being able to live stream on these platforms. We're not necessarily allowed to grieve properly.
And to avoid having to grieve over these shootings, we need tougher gun laws, Castillo says.
Kentucky's lawmakers have once again wasted an entire legislative session by gutting the state's existing gun laws and taking no preventative action to save lives. Our message to lawmakers is clear that inaction is not an option anymore, and that we need more than thoughts and prayers. We need to demand policies and change.
This horrible attack at the bank unfolded as just one of so many in America. Soon after it happened, police responded to a separate shooting at a community college less than 2 miles away. Another person was killed there in America today. For Annenberg Media, I'm Salome Nebiu.
The Fashion Institute of Design and Merchandising, known as FIDM, in downtown Los Angeles has been bought by Arizona State University. FIDM was a private school teaching fashion, entertainment, beauty, and design. The takeover will happen very soon, and some students at FIDM are not happy about it. Nikki Barrelson has the story.
FIDM was established in 1969 as a private school. It prides itself on giving students hands-on experience and industry partnerships, mostly in the fashion, design, and entertainment worlds. They also focus on innovation and sustainability. Located in the heart of downtown Los Angeles, actually not too far from USC, FIDM attracts a diverse community of students from around the world. Almost half the student body comes from out of state, and nearly 10% are international. ASU's purchase of FIDM is part of their recently expanding move to Los Angeles. They recently opened what they call the ASU California Center. It includes the LA branch of ASU's Walter Cronkite School of Journalism and Mass Communication. ASU sees Los Angeles as a gateway to the West and Asia Pacific and hopes to further expand enrollment here. Specifically, ASU seeks to admit students who have been historically underrepresented in higher education. They do it in Arizona, and they hope to do it here too. Students at FIDM are not required to move to Arizona to complete their degree, and those who are currently enrolled can start taking the new ASU-mandated classes as early as June 2023. Tuition is not expected to rise, but some students at FIDM had a few concerns about the merger. Soji is a student at FIDM.
I guess with ASU merging with FIDM, I guess there's more diversity in who to connect with, I suppose. But I guess I'll kind of miss the just that specialty that comes with going to a fashion-based school meant for fashion-based things. ASU requiring FIDM and, for one, having it being called ASU FIDM and not FIDM ASU, that's going to be a turnoff for a lot of people now. A lot of people come here for FIDM, not for ASU to take over, so it's definitely going to be a mixed bag, but probably for the negative.
FIDM student Emmy Drew questions the merger.
A party school, a major university, especially in Arizona, merging with a private fashion school that's essentially a trade school, we're making them look good, but they're making us look bad. Because now the credibility that FIDM had and the name that FIDM has built for itself over the years is kind of gone, because now it's not going to say for future generations. Luckily not for us, our diplomas will say FIDM, they won't say ASU, luckily. But for anybody that's behind us, their diplomas are going to say ASU or ASU FIDM.
The transformation will be in effect by the end of summer, so for now, students await the Sun Devils' arrival. For Annenberg Media, I'm Nikki Barrelson.
One of USC's most illustrious alumni was given a highest honor on campus today while the university tries to right a wrong. The renaming of the field was announced earlier this year after the old name was found to be politically incorrect.
It's 2021, the Tokyo Olympics.
And Allyson Felix gets her gold!
It's 2023, outside the track and field stadium at USC. The name of this field is covered in red material. The Trojan Band is playing the fight song. At just the right moment, the material drops, and we see the new name of USC's track and field arena. It's Allyson Felix Field from now on, and Felix was there to celebrate.
Thank you so much. This is overwhelming. It's just such a full circle moment, and everything everyone has said has just meant so much to me.
On a hazy morning, it seemed to be another dreaded gloomy day in Southern California. But the clouds cleared, creating a perfect spring day. The birds were chirping and the sun was shining. A crowd of notable USC administration and alumni gathered under a tent outside USC's track and field stadium.
I hope that I've contributed, and I hope that I've left something behind, and I hope that students, athletes, come to this field and they come at the beginning of their journey and they experience something like I did. Getting a foundation, being prepared to face the world. We don't know what those challenges are going to be, but we know that they're inevitable. And I think that this is such a special place to get you ready to take on those fights.
Felix is the most decorated woman in Olympic track and field history, having earned 11 medals from 5 consecutive Olympic Games. Winning an Olympic medal as a mom, writing an op-ed for the New York Times, and fighting for women's rights are just a few of Felix's accomplishments. The 37-year-old continues to be an advocate for women, athletes, and mothers. Felix never ran for the USC track team, but she did graduate from the university with a degree in elementary education from Rossier. Felix continues to visit USC and forge relationships with current track and field athletes. USC track star Gigi Macagini is from Australia and says Felix is not just a role model for the Trojan community.
I can confirm that Allyson is a worldwide role model, looked up to by all. Fast forward a few years, and I find myself standing here with the honor of speaking about the woman I once and very much still admire. However, today I view her not only as the best athlete the world has seen, but also as the boldest and most inspirational woman the world has been blessed with.
Putting her degree to use, USC Athletic Director Mike Bone says Felix is a model Trojan.
Allyson serves as an extraordinary example of what we aim to be through her humility, competitive grit, sports and business acumen, but also her kindness, compassion, and heart. The naming of this field is not just to honor Allyson, but to inspire Trojans to achieve beyond the ordinary, to be a champion on and off the field, to stand for what is right with confidence and grace.
And it seems to be already working. Felix will continue to be a role model for current and former Trojans to come. 11-year-old Sienna Cherry cannot wait to take a few laps on the newly named field.
For my track future, I hope I can do at least a fraction of what she did, and maybe become maybe as important.
For Annenberg Media, I'm Hayes Flanagan.
I'm really glad USC is continuing to change the names of buildings with people who do not deserve that recognition and give it to amazing people like her.
Yeah. And that's all we have time for on today's From Where We Are. Valeria Diaz and Clémence Fegnaud produced today's show. We had help from Sissy Arenas, Vincent De Monte, Ethan Inman, Benjamin Cohen, Kimberly Aguirre.
Our board operator is Mangus Reynolds, our live stream manager, Kyle Pennex, and Derek Renfrow composed our theme music.
We're also streaming live on YouTube at Annenberg Radio News. Subscribe to From Where We Are on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Finally, don't forget to follow us on Instagram at Annenberg Radio. I'm Kevin Gramling.
And I'm Sana Mahmood.
From all of us at Annenberg Radio, wherever you are, we hope you'll join us again for
From Where We Are.
Did you